I'm Dr. Saki Mushtaq, founder and lead coordinator of the Global Entomologists Network. And it is a great pleasure to welcome you all to this international webinar hosted by the Gen on Honeybee Farming, Science, Skill, and Sustainable Income. Honeybees are not only critical pollinators supporting global food production, but they also serve as an entry point for sustainable livelihoods, particularly through scientific beekeeping and value-added hive products. This seminar brings together students, farmers, researchers, and professionals to explore the science behind apiculture, the honeybee farming, the technical skills needed for successful honeybee management, and the economic potential to bee-based enterprises. Our goal today is to exchange ideas and experiences, build awareness, and promote sustainable beekeeping practices that contribute to agricultural productivity, environmental health, and income generation. Let's now formally begin this timely and important session. To introduce our guest speaker, I invite Ms. Aisha Faryad Khan, the Secretary of the Global Entomologists Network. Please, Ms. Aisha, I request you to introduce our today's speaker.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Aisha Faryad Khan, and I'm here to introduce our distinguished guest speaker, Dr. Hussain Ali. And he's an accomplished researcher in the field of apiculture and sustainable agriculture. He holds a PhD in honeybee science from King Saud University, Saudi Arabia, and currently serves as a Deputy Director of Planning, Director of Agriculture Research, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Pakistan. Dr. Hussain Ali brings over 100 years of experience in applied entomology, particularly in honeybee biology, pollination ecology, colony health management, and the role of bees in integrated farming system. His international awards for his contribution to apiculture innovation and extension. Today, he will present key concepts and particular insights on how scientific beekeeping can serve as a sustainable livelihood option and strengthen the ecological foundation of modern agriculture. So, Dr. Hussain, the mic is yours. You can start now.
Let's start. Thank you, madam, and thank you so much, Saqib. Am I audible? Uh,
Yes, Dr. Hussain, we can hear you.
okay, my screen is clear. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes,
All the
sir,
audience.
everything is clear.
Okay, that's great. That's great. Let's start with Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulullah. Today we will talk about honeybee farming. Honeybee farming. It's we will discuss the scientific aspects. We will also discuss some of the skills and sustainable income. Honeybee farming is not related only to science, but it is also has a great contribution in the livelihood and the socio-economic condition of the people. And I'm saying that currently in Pakistan, more than you can say zero point 0.5 to 1 million people they are involved directly or indirectly with the honeybee farming. So let's start the lecture with some of the people. There is a great controversy regarding the honeybee species. Some people say it has the worldwide it has 11 species, but some people are against it and they are saying that it has the honeybee species has honeybees has 9 species. But fortunately, we have among the 11 or 9 we have 4 species that are available in Pakistan. The first bee species you have seen them, the joint bees, we call them Apis dorsata, the dwarf bees Apis florea, the oriental bees usually available in Swat, Mari, Kashmir, and Chhatrar area. We call them Apis serrana or oriental or Asian bees. The third one in the red is called Apis mellifera, European bee. The first 3, that is Apis dorsata, Apis florea, and Apis serrana. The first 3, they are indigenous bees, means they are local bees. And the fourth one, European bees, is important for beekeeping. And nowadays, all people, they you see the honeybee boxes in different in different shapes. So they have the European honeybees, and the people call it the most domesticated bee species in the world. So if you see any colony, whether it is on the tree, whether it is a hive, so what is inside a colony? Usually you will find three types of bees. The one is queen, the second are workers. Queen and workers, they both are female, mean they are female in nature. The third one is drones. So any box, when you see any box, so it has three types of bees. When you see any hive on a tree, on under water tank, under any condition, if it is a colony of a small dwarf bees, if it's Apis cerana, Apis mellifera, if it's Dorchata, so it will contain the three types of the bees. So let's come towards the life cycle. So usually the egg stage larval, that is for a drone, queen, for queen, drone, and worker. This is same. Mean the egg stage is 3 days, and the larval stage is 6 days. But pupal stage for queen is comparatively less than the other two, drone and worker. And the queen will lay will you can say queen will emerge from a cell after 16 days. The drone will emerge after 24 days, while the worker will emerge after 21 days. So queen will, why the queen emerge so quickly? Because they have given a special food called the royal jelly, and because of that, their body, their development is strong, and their development is faster as compared to other types of bee, as compared to drones and workers. What are the duties of queen, workers, and drones? Initially, the queen number one duty is egg laying. Number one, when the queen emerge, so after within 2 days, she will go outside, and we call it the nuptial flight. She will go outside the colony, and she will meet with the drones. And when they come back, so she will start egg laying, and she will keep the colony performance strong. And they have a special pheromone called queen mandibular pheromone. The mandibular glands, they secrete a kind of a pheromone, and they are very important to keep the colony unite. The second is the worker bees. So usually we divide the worker bees in two distinguish we call them in two distinguished, either we call them the bees that remain inside, we call them nurse bees. The bees that have aged from 1 to 17, so we usually we call them nurse bees, and they remain inside the colony. And after 17 days, the bees, the worker
Excuse
bees,
me,
they start foraging.
excuse me, Doctor
Yes,
Saab.
sir.
Can you please select the slideshow mode, slide share?
What?
Just make the screen big of your by selecting
Okay, okay, okay. I'm sorry.
slideshow.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's good now. I'm
Yeah,
really
now
sorry
it's
for that.
fine. Yeah, yeah. Please,
Oh,
please.
okay, I'm
Yeah.
really sorry. Okay. So the worker, worker has two types: nurse bees. And what are the duty of nurse bees? It is when it emerges from the cells, so it start cleaning. They're feeding. They produce royal jelly. They produce wax. They have special glands which we call them hypopharyngeal glands, and they produce royal jelly. They have wax glands. And the foragers, when their age are more than 17 days, so then they start foraging, and they forage nectar, pollen, water, and propolis. And what is the duty of drones? The drones only duty is to mate with the queen, and when they mate after 30-35 minutes, they die. And usually the queen have a special sperm storage sac. We call them spermatheca, and they store the sperms. And you, at a time, the queen usually met with 7 to 10 drones. And those drones which are met with the queen, they will definitely die. Is there during the mating, the male reproductive system is completely, you can call it disrupted or destroyed during the mated by the queen. Okay, now, when you see a colony, so there is a kind of social temperature regulation, as we call them, the honeybees or social bees. So they usually their task is divided. Yes, I mentioned earlier, they are doing cleaning, they are collecting water, pollen, and nectar. But when we talk about the inside temperature, so there is the inside temperature is fixed. It is 35, it can be 34, it can be 36, but it cannot be 37. If it reached to 37, then like in summer the temperature is high, so then they start fanning, and they bring water and they put on the frame and they start framing to reduce the temperature, because the higher temperature is not good them for brood rearing. And if we talk about winter, so in winter they form a cluster to usually they form a cluster to keep the colony temperature constant. If there is still some problem, so then they start rubbing their thoracic region and they increase the temperature, but the temperature will be 35. It can be 34, it can be 37, but it should be constant. Otherwise, they will have problem in the brood rearing. Now, when we talk about the inside the colony, so there is honeybees, as we call them, the social insects. So they have democracy inside the hive. When they usually took collective decision, they don't take individual decision. They call it there is a very good book on honeybee democracy by Thomas DeSille. You can study that. Thomas DeSille, Honeybee Democracy, is a very good scientist, and he has written this a very good book. If you want to study for how the democracy mean, the government can adopt the democratic system of the bees inside their mean inside the countries. So the food collection, it is based on it is a collective decision. They will not based on individual they usually collectively took this decision. There's some people, there's some of the bees, some of the forager we collect from this. So they usually collect different types of food, and their decision is collective. The second is, for example, let's suppose we have a queen and that is not very good. I mean, their condition is not very good. She is not keeping the colony well. She is not capable of egg laying. So there is a process, simple word, we call it requeening or queen superseding. So as I mentioned, there is democracy. So a single bee or few bees, they cannot kill the bees. So a kind of superseding to remove her from the you can call throne. So they usually make a ball and they kill the queen. So nobody a kind of everybody is involved in the killing of the queen. So this system is called superseding or queen balling. So a democratic decision that is also taken by a kind of not individual decision, a collective decision. And another thing that has been reported is the queen fight. Sometimes when there, as I mentioned earlier, that there is democracy. So when the new queen emerge, the followers of the old queen, she will left the colony. But if she is not leaving the colony, in 90-95% cases, the old queen will left the colony, as she is saying that, okay, my followers should follow me. We will go outside from this and we will left the box, the home to the new queen. But if she is insisting that I'm not leaving, the new queen is not leaving, so then there will be a kind of a royal fight. And the fight will be not between the workers or the individual, it will between the queens. So it means that the in democracy, like in Pakistan and other Indian and other countries, the workers are involved for political parties, and their chairman and the other people, they are not involved. But in bees, the queen is involved. The queen will start fighting, and there will be a royal fight, and one queen must die. whether it is old, whether it's new. So usually, if you see the color of the queen bees fighting, so one is dark and one is golden. The golden one is new, and the dark one is the old. When the queen emerged, so it is in golden color. With the passage of time, it's due to tanning, or you can call it the egg laying or other. So with the passage of time, the color, the abdomen color, become more dark. uh, Now, how they communicate, it was inside the democracy that how they are doing their tasks. Now we will come towards how they communicate with the other people, with the other nestmate, with the other workers. So they have queen pheromone. Number one, how the queen mean communicate. They have queen pheromones, and the queen pheromone is released by the queen mandibular glands, and it has a special odor and a special aroma, and it shows the presence of the queen. And the second, and it keeps the colony united. And number third, what we call it, function of this pheromone is that it suppress the ovary of the worker. As I mentioned earlier, that queen and workers both are female in nature, so worker can also lay eggs. And I mentioned, I think I didn't mention earlier, that one queen can lay uh, 1000 to 1400 eggs per day. So it is the queen is, you can call it the reproductive unit. So queen, usually, what is the queen pheromone? Queen mandibular pheromone, and I think so. The chemical composition is 9-ODA, 9-deoxy. I didn't remember exactly the chemical name of that. Okay, and second thing is Nasanov pheromone, or we call them trial pheromone, Nasanoving, and or we call them returning pheromone. Usually, some of the people, they might be thinking that when the bees leave the colony, so how they return to the colony. I mean. What procedure they adopt to return back to their home or to their colony. So they have returning pheromone. Some people call it trial pheromone, and they are released by the worker in the air. And sometimes they one of the interesting thing in the bees, that they can see the sun if there is clouds. So through sun direction, she fixed the direction. She also released some of the Nasonoving pheromone. And sometimes the large landmarks like the buildings, some other. So they have, through that pheromone, they can return back to their colonies, as we have seen a lot of in the ants, I think so. Some of when we were child, we were saying that these ants are Muslim, they are shaking hands with each other. So actually they were not like that. It was a kind of trial pheromone, and they were giving a kind of direction that in this direction there is food, and that direction there is our nest, and you can go on this kind of trail that has been set, and they are communicating with that. Number third is the brood pheromone. Why brood pheromone is important? Why Nasov and Nasanov, or you can call returning trial? Why that is important? Because if they are not using this pheromone, so they will lost, and the colony bees returning ratio will be less. So because of that, that is very important. When we talk about the brood pheromone, so brood pheromone, brood, as I mentioned, that brood is important to keep the colony strong. So brood pheromone is important for worker. They give it as signals that we need food, and they give a kind of signal to the queen as well, that we have brood, and the queen can manage actively. They have a good family planning systems. So when there is a brood pheromone, the queen, they check the brood properly, and if they need worker, the queen have the ability, as I mentioned earlier, that they have spermatica. They can use They can store the sperm of the drones, and then whether she want to lay egg, whether she want to produce worker, which is female in nature, whether she want to produce male, which is drones. So she can produce this. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have given this ability to many insects, especially in hymenopterus, that they can produce whether they want female or male in nature. So brood pheromone give them a signals that food is needed, and if more brood is needed or not. And the third one is sometimes there is a kind of emergency situation, and there is some tough situation, like emergency and some un when you could solve un normal conditions. So they start alarm pheromone, and alarm pheromone is giving a kind of special for they upward the guard bees their abdomen and release a special pheromone, saying that there is some danger, and the signal is given to the colony that be prepare. And if we start attacking, if somebody is attacking, so then we will counter that attack. So usually the communication inside the colony is done with the help of chemicals. We call them pheromones. Okay, and there is another, for example, as I talk about nurse bees and forager bees. When the forager bees, she collect the we call them the droplet or nectar. So she then regurgitate and give that they transfer that food to another worker, and then the nurse bees put them in a special cell, or the we call them the honey cells. This process is called tropolalics. Tropolalics, when they transfer direct transfer of food and foods from one individual to another. There is another phenomena in the honeybees called age polytheism. Age polytheism is that your duty changes with the passage of time with your age. For example, when we were a child, we were going to school. When we get little I mean, little older, then they send us to the universities. When we got degrees, so our role changed from university students to starting jobbing, and then we will be retired, like that. So their role is changing. Initially, for example, from 1 to 17 days, they are nerds. From 17 to onward, they are 4 years, they are collecting. So that process is called age polyatheism. Okay, one of the most important thing is that the honeybee antenna, they have more than 6,000 sensory sensella, sensory means sensory organs. And they can, as I mentioned, they use the nasono for returning pheromone, and they can come and go back to their colonies. But when they visit a flower, they have the ability, they can learn and they can memorize. And we did personally, it was some of my PhD research, and we were doing learning and memories on honeybees. And initially this call is associative learning, mean you are associating something with the other. So we were associating some order with the sugar, and through this you can use the honeybees. They can detect explosive device, they can detect means some of the diseases, they can detect some of the other diseases in plants, in animals, in even you can so tuberculosis, even COVID. So this is a very simple process. Initially you will start train the bees with a special order with associative conditioning, and then you can use that for the experiment. But why? Because they have the ability to run like animals, and especially they are very good learners, and they can memorize the thing for a long. But one of the important thing, one of the disadvantages between the honeybees and the dogs is dog has the age is comparatively less, is they have I mean, few months. The honeybees age is few months, while dogs have few years. So that is a big problem. Otherwise, no, the advanced word have been used honeybees to detect many things. And some of the research you can then go and Google that how we can use these. You can use for tuberculosis, for landmines, for a lot of things. So you can go and you can search. Even you will find a lot of YouTube videos, and this is not mean very. Complicated. We can use even this in Pakistan, and one of my student completed his PhD on this learning and memory in different species. Why this was all about the some of the scientific things I think we discussed, and now we will come is the webinar is not only related to science. We have to discuss some of the related to entrepreneurship, business, income, and honeybees. They are very important pollinator. They increase the production of the plants, and plant and odor. They have great plant odor and nectar secretion. They have great role, more than 80% of the crops, and they are attracted by the odor secretion and amount shapes. And if I talk about the almond industry in the USA, is greatly linked with the honeybees. And one year the honeybee population was less, so they I think uh, imported a lot of bees from Italy and from Australia. Okay, now we will come towards the second part of the presentation, that is about the honeybee product. And is we have a lot of students in the webinar, so they can start their businesses. So what we can get from a honeybee hive, as we talk about the hive. So what we can get from a hive, number one is the most cheapest thing is honey. And when I talk about this is the cheapest thing, people usually become astonished. It's the cheapest. Yes, I said it's the cheapest source, the produce or the product of the honeybee hive. Honey, propolis, and pollen. We can get honey, propolis, and pollen from the box. We can get royal jelly, wax, venom, and brood. Brood is not important in Pakistan, but in some other word it is important. Well, the first three, as mentioned, it is plant origin, means it is collected by the bees and brought back to the hive, but the origin is a plant, mean the plant produced these honey, the nectar, propolis, and pollen. Bees collect them and then they brought back to the colony, and then we extract these three products. And the other three, they are secreted by the honeybee body, that is royal jelly, wax, venom, and brood. Okay, so we will go further what and we will discuss that honey. You can see the honey, the most important thing, as I mentioned, in tropicales, the forager, they collect the nectar, they make some saliva, and then they regurgitate to tropicales, and then the worker bee, the nurse bee, she put that in a cell and then start fanning. When it becomes the moisture content become less than 17, so then they seal it. And when the honey is sealed, so we'll call them ripe, ripe honey or ripe honey, mean paka hua shahad. And then when the flowers, there is a process called proboscis extension response, PER. So you can go and you can check, as I mentioned earlier, flower are visited by honeybees for nectar, pollen, and propolis. The nectaries, what is how the nectar is secreted, how the now I will discuss about how the honey is produced. So each flower has calyx, ovaries, and nectaries. The nectary glands, they are glands. When it is newly opened, the glands, the newly opened flower nectaries secrete nectars, and the nectars are collected by the honeybee through a process called proboscis extension response. The honeybees has a syringe type of mouth parts, and then they suck, and then they collect it through their proboscis, and then they store in their honey stomach. Honeybee had two stomach. One is honey, and one is for other food. So the flowers have nectaries, and they secreted nectar, and that is a reward for pollinators. And the honeybees, they also have a good choice, like human being have choice. I'm going to this restaurant, I'm using this brand. So the honeybees also have a choices in the collection of food, in collection of flower, in selection of food and flowers. So different color, orders, and shapes, they are liked by the honeybees. And through this process, when they collect for the nectaries from the nectar from the nectaries, then they mix some of the enzymes, and then they come back to the colony through polylepse. They regurgitate, and then they give back to their other nurse bees. And then through fanning, the moisture content are become less. When it become less than 17%, so then they store, and then they seal, and we call them a ripe honey. Well, if somebody want to start honey marketing, honey business, yes, it's cheap. For that, you will need bees, or you can start them without bees. Even you can start a business with local market, like as in the down picture, one of the picture as I mentioned in my slide. And you can start for international. But if you have your own farms, so the people will more mean interested in buying your products. But it is not important. Sometimes you have very good producers, you have very good honey beekeepers, and they can provide you some quality honey, and you can start your own business. And nowadays it's very easy. Is the world is a global village, and now you can start on your website, Facebook, your internet page. And now the TCS and some of the courier services, they have started cash on delivery, COD. And so you can start honey business. And currently in Pakistan, we have almost 10 to 14 types of honey, but sometimes some honey are produced in very little amount. And Pakistan is currently producing up to 15,000 tons of honey, and among them 4,000 or 5,000 is exported in mainly UAE, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and other countries. But we have the potential to increase this 15,000 tons to 35,000 tons. And we are in, Alhamdulillah, in top, almost top 40 countries, in top 40 countries of the world. They are exporting honey and in producing. But still, we are far behind in many countries, because we have a lot of potential, and we can increase them, especially in the northern areas and some of the I can say the Sindh region and Balochistan region. They have a great potential, and their area is completely unexplored. So honey marketing, you can start your own branding, and it doesn't require a lot of business. Mean a simple, you can start it from, I think, 50,000. When you are not investing to 1 lakh rupees, you can start the business, and then you can increase with the passage of time. So a great potential. I will advise students they should start at least their businesses in honey. And the second thing is propolis. Usually, when it's also a hive product, but it is the propolis is from the buds. It's collected from the buds of the flowers, and it is important. It is contain resin, wax, but it's protect the hive from outside elements like rain. It's just like cement. You can see the top, the greenish or the blackish. You can see on the top, it's stop vibrating, because the bees don't hate vibrating. So it is greenish, red, black, and different color. And propolis is imported because it has germicide, and some of propolis has great potential in medicinal values, and the people are using it in medicines, and the price is also very high. The third thing that you can start, even they are collected from the flowers, pollen, and I must say that currently, if we talk about the pollen price, so that is more than 2 to 3 thousand kg per. Yeah, 2 to 3 thousand rupees per kg, and the honey price currently in Peshawar is 600 rupees, 700 rupees for acacia, and some 800 rupees, and almost 2000 to 2. So the price of pollen per kg is higher than the honey. So collection of pollen is very simple, it's very easy, and you can do that using the pollen trap, different type of pollen trap, and then you can try it. There is different dryers, and you can try it, and then you can sell it in different shapes. And the bee pollen, they have protein. Currently, some of the people, they are using, they are allergic to meat or animal protein. So some of the bodybuilders, they are using this the pollen as a source of protein, and they have a lot of minerals, enzymes, vitamins, more than doses, and they are low in calories. So, and most of the word. But one thing, keep in mind that you must not be allergic to bee pollen, otherwise it will create problem for you as well. Royal jelly, it's extremely nutritious, and when I talk about this, it's the precious. It's also called bee milk, and it has royal actin, a special protein. It is given to the queens only. It's queen food, and the price is almost more than 15 to 20,000 rupees per kg. So the queen, they exclusively, they live on royal jelly, and because of that, they have the good fertility, good longevity, and royal jelly can be used by human as well as for by men or women. They can use it, and some they can be given to the people with which are born premature, so they have a good nutritional value. And the royal a question as rises. Royal jelly is produced from a special grain in the head region. If you can see it, HFJ, hypopharyngeal glands. So the gland secrete in the head region when the worker bee, it is secreted by the worker bees. It is not secreted by the drones or queen. It is secreted by the worker bees when the age is more than 5 to 6 days, mean more than 5 6 days, till 11 12 days. And you can see the HP glands in the top region, and you can see also wax glands on the lower abdominal, and nasinative glands and glands on the top, and summer. So usually, how we produce the royal jelly, we have a kind of special frames, and we artificially produce the queen cells as the this is the food of the queen. So then the worker, they deposit more amount of royal jelly in these cells, and then we collect them. So through that we produce royal jelly. This is some of the production methods that we use locally, and this is some of the pictures from our training that we produce. We prepare queen cells artificially, and then we have special frames like, as I mentioned, this one, and then we collect the royal jelly. The beeswax, for beeswax is produced. Beeswax is also produced by the worker bees, and when their age is more than 11 days, and the bee glands, they are on the lower abdominal, four on one side, four on other sides. So wax is another important product, and the wax, it is pale yellow in color, and from wax you can start your own business very easily. You can prepare soap, you can prepare candles, you can prepare cosmetics like lip balm, lipsticks. You can use for leather, shoe polish, varnish, lubricants. Like we are producing different creams, different candles, like these candles, some soaps, so varied products. And even you can earn a very handsome amount uh, from the wax products, wax value added products. So it's easily you can earn, and you can earn a lot of money from the wax value added products. And another one is bee venom. So the sixth product that is produced by the honeybee from honeybee worker, it is bee venom. Bee venom is also important. It has enzyme, protein, and amino acids. It is a colorless, and the honey bee venom is collected through bee venom collector. There is a special device. One thing, keep in mind that when the honey bee sting you, it will die, because it's a kind of the sting has a hook, and when it stung a human being or any animal, so the sting usually, as I have given in this picture, it's stuck inside the skin. And when it force, so usually the not the reproductive system, but the sting system, they detach from their body, and after sometimes because of bleeding, uh, the bee died. So it is collected through the honey bee venom collector, we call it bee venom collector. It has a special glass, and the sting is slipped, so it just released the venom only, and it is not stuck on the on the glass. So through that they can be collected. And another bee venom therapy worldwide is now used, and it is greatly effective in arthritis. And a recent research that honeybee venom can be used for breast cancer, and it is very effective in breast cancer. And other people sensitivity, some of the people, they are very sensitive, and their sensitivity can be minimized through honeybee venom, and you can save a lot of people through this. And the bee venom therapy is very popular in China, Korea, some of the European countries, and even in Turkey as well. So it was all about my presentation, and now we have 15 to 20 minutes for question and answer. And if somebody wanna ask any questions, so I am here. Sakib.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Hussain, for such a valuable presentation on apiculture, the honeybee farming. Now it's time for the question answer session. We will take some questions online through by just raising the hands from the participants. So now the forum is open for all participants. The respected participants, please, the one who want to ask question, just raise your hand. I will open your mic and you can ask the question directly to our respected speaker. Yeah, please. Mr. Abdurrauf, please open your mic. Yeah, please unmute your mic.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम सर।
Walaikum salam. Yes, Mr. Abdurrauf, please.
सर अगर कुछ बॉक्सेस चाहिए हो तो इसको बिजनेस को स्टार्ट करने के लिए तो वो कहाँ से मिलेंगे, काइंडली, और टूल्स
Please,
वगैरह का बता दीजिएगा।
in English, please speak in English.
Okay, no problem, no problem. He's asking about if somebody wanna
Okay,
start a business, okay, and he need boxes, so you can get boxes. We have a lot of people. Even you can get nowadays from Talagang, Chakwal. They have a lot of beekeepers there. Even you can get from a lot of people in Multan. They have a very good, even in Rajanpur. So, and if in you need in Peshawar, so Peshawar has a big market. We call it International Honey Market. Okay, so you can get that from the beekeepers. It's just like animal selling. Like you can see some of the people who are selling the animals. So the beekeeping is just like selling. You can go to any, you can see any farm, you can go and you can bargain them and told them that I need few boxes, and then you can collect. You can bargain and then you can collect boxes from them. I think we have some questions in the message box. Let me check it.
Yeah, please, you can take from there. Uh, uh,
Oh, okay, okay.
Someone asked about what are the most suitable
Yes,
plants
yes.
to grow.
This is HP flower type determine honey quality. Yes, definitely. Each flower quality, each type of flower, they have different color, they have different aroma, and they have different taste. So the quality of the mean the flowers, the types, the species, they will definitely determine the quality. It is asked by HP. I don't know the exact name. Okay. The second is asked by.
Mr. Abdul Rahman, what are the most suitable
Okay,
plants to grow the
Abdurrahman Sahib, I think so. Okay, what are the most suitable plants to grow that provide essential food, nectar, and pollen for bees during periods of food scarcity? Sir, in food scarcity, usually in Pakistan, especially in winter period, we don't have too much flowers. But in winter, as I mentioned, that when we collect the pollen, we usually keep them in storage, and then we provide them the pollen patties, the artificial food that is mixed with the sugar. But some of the like in winter, we have brassica species can be given, and like in hot summers, we have very good source, that is maize is a very good rich source of pollen for the bees. But there is another question nowadays that GM maize is the people are a lot of debating about the GM maize. So I don't have any information about the GM maize, but the local species or the hybrids, you can grow them and they can provide very good. Currently, the good pollen, some of the pollen, the nectar, mean the nectar. But one thing that some of the ornamental plants, they have very good flowers, but they don't have that much nectar and pollen. So usually the shrubs, the plants, they have little higher heights. They are more good in producing the nectar and pollen as compared to small flowers. So Abdurrahman sir, if you are planning, so you can grow, and I can share a kind of book that in a kind of calendar for the uh, plants that you can grow these type of plants in the area. Okay, we have another question. What is average life of a honey box? Okay, usually, as I mentioned earlier, the drone has few months. Similarly, a few months for worker. The queen has 2 to 3 years, but we usually prefer to requeen them every year because we need more egg laying and a strong colony. So we prefer them to be more reproductive, more egg laying. They have good capacity. So the box, and if you are talking about the wood, so the wood box, you can keep them for many decades. I mean, we have bee boxes from almost 10 to 15 years, so you can keep them for many. And but if the bees, yes, you will just need the bees. They will multiply by, just like this is just like animals. They have breeding program, breeding seasons, and they can multiply by themselves, and they will even produce their new queen. Sometimes, as I mentioned, superseding is also there. Okay, there's another person, RP. I'm from India and interested in honeybee farming. Yes, India
Yeah,
is very good in honeybee farming, and you have a lot of good system. And there is a great association of honeybee association, I think so. Do you know RK
elected
Reedy?
member.
We usually, yeah, we
Yeah,
are in contact with him. In RK Reedy, I forgot the name, and some of the people in Jammu University. So they are doing a lot of research. So you can contact them. It is Rajinder Patel. Yes, Rajinder Patel. You can contact them, and they can give you a very good advice. Abdul Rauf, sir, please can you share the contact details of the
Yeah,
any beekeeper if you have? Definitely, I will have Rana Khalid Saab. He has already shared by some of the people. I'm from Punjab. What is the perfect artificial diet for bee culture? Okay, the good bee culture diet for artificial, it must have protein, it must have carbohydrate. So protein is usually available in pollen, and carbohydrate is you can get from sugar. So pollen, sugar, and if you don't have much amount of pollen, so then you can mix some of the soybean and some of the other powder or flour, mean atta. We can give some of the mm, I exactly forget. Besan ka atta is also a good source of protein. Thank you, sir. Okay, the next question is also guide for hot summer. John Girsha. The question is regarding how also guide for us hot summer management. As I mentioned, this is just a simple webinar. Usually in Tarna Farm, we have three types of training. Initially, we give 5 days beginning training, then mid, and then advanced training. So this was just a kind of webinar, so I can teach all the things in just 50 to 1 hour. So in hot summer, you should keep them in shady place, provide them enough food, water, and some of the sugar solution,
ex
but it should be not that much concentrated, less concentrated. Yes, sir, please.
excuse me, Dr. Hussain. We need to take a question online directly from our respected participant from Mr. Minhaj Khokar. Yeah, sir,
Ji
please, can
sir,
you
ji sir.
ask
Please, please.
directly from our.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
I live in California, and it is a very big industry in United States, especially California. It's about $500 million income for companies that rent bees to different farmers, especially
Yes.
for almond pollination. You need bees. Also, now a very big trend of bees rental services is for indoor farms, especially tomato farms, cucumber farms, where pollination is required. Strawberry farms, they have small boxes within the farm, and this is where they call them farm workers, basically. So instead of pollinating with hands, they use these bees and they go around and they pollinate their farms. This can be a very important business in Pakistan as well. I mean, especially in the northern
Yes.
areas where we grow fruits, I think this could be a rental service
Very
of
good.
honeybees.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah.
I just give you an idea. Maybe there is some
Yes.
entrepreneur here
Dr.
who
Saab,
can start a business.
let me share you some of the interesting story regarding the Sargoda. That the people in Sargoda, the citrus grower, as you mentioned, that
Yes.
almond is very good in
Yeah, citrus
California,
growers
and
would
people
need
are
that
renting
too.
out,
Yes.
and they are giving amount to the amount of a lot of huge amount to the beekeepers. In Sargoda, the people are not letting them to put the bees inside the orchards in the citrus, because they are saying that they are eating flowers, so that will reduce our what we call it, the reduce our production in citrus. Especially this was in Sargoda and some places in Chakwal, in Brassica. So now we are starting educating the people that the bees, through pollination, they are increasing the quality as well as
Yes.
the quantity. So
Yes.
there's a great still in Pakistan renting out, you cannot imagine. This is first in the developing country. Yes, I was there. I was working in Arizona. I have been to California.
Yes.
So they, yeah, they are renting, and the almond industry is totally dependent on bees, cucumber, and other off-season vegetables. But in Pakistan, people are not letting you keep your bees inside a orchard, a field, because there is a concept that they are visiting the flower. So the concept is they are visiting the flower and they are eating their flowers. We are mixing beneficial insect with harmful insects. If we see any biological agents like ladybird beetle, the people send me the picture. Dr. Saab, give me a kind of pesticide I should spray on the beetle, and they should because they are eating. I said this is a beneficial insect. It is
Yes.
eating on another mean aphids, other.
Aphids.
So
Yeah,
yes,
it eats aphids.
this is
Yes.
a big problem, and still we are very far behind from the developing world. And yes, renting out is a good, but it is not yet practiced in Pakistan, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah, we have
there
another.
is a question from Al Sani. Yes, what you can suggest us to protect bees? Yes, this is very important. Nowadays, the indigenous bees, as I mentioned, we have three species of indigenous species. So the three species is greatly threatened by pesticide, the floral resources, and the habitat loss. So initially, we should grow more food, more floral resources, protect their habitat, and number third, we should give them a kind of protection, less pesticide application. And number fourth is the climate change, which is natural disaster, is there, increase and decrease in temperature there's everywhere. So but the other three factors are very important that we should work on that. So through that we can protect our bees. Okay. Plant maximum plants, yes. Minimize use of already mentioned by some of the people. Thank you. Is it possible to incorporate essential oils in honey based ointments? Yes, you can. As I mentioned, from wax you can produce a lot of skin products, and you can aid your what type of aroma or what type of main oils you want, what type of color, what type of uh, taste, what type of smell you want. So you can increase essential oil, you can add it, and you can why honey are more sweet or best when we are collected from acacia. Okay, some, as I mentioned earlier, that the nectar secretion, like each flower has different main nectar secretion, and the nectar, if you do the nectar analysis, so the nectar analysis is also some of the honey, they are sweeter in nature, some are not sweeter in nature. Like if you check the honey of acacia, that is very sweet in nature as compared to zizopus. And if you check then orange or even some of the sunflower, so there's not. So this is depend on the nectar compositions. Does colony influence the threshold of defensive response? Yes, because when there will be more guard bees, so their defense system will be very strong and very efficient. Okay, sir, I think you have already mentioned poker sub. Thank you. Sir, why we cannot raise wild bees? Okay, that's a very good question by Ahmed Baloch. Ahmed, it is important that some of the bees, you cannot change the nature of the bees. They'll for example, the wild bees apis dorsata and apis florea, they love to live in the open area, so you cannot domesticate them.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hussain. Now, for the closing remarks, I would like to invite the General Secretary of the Global Entomologist Network, Dr. Mehreen. Please, Dr. Mehreen, proceed with the closing remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for invite. Thank you, sir, for your nice presentation and sharing your experience. We learn a lot of, and we will learn a lot for in future. Thank you for joining us in today in enriching session on honeybee farming. We are especially grateful to Dr. Hussain Ali for sharing practical and research-based insight into how honeybee farming, when approached scientifically, can offer both ecological different benefits and economic opportunities, from pollination services that enhance crop yield to entrepreneurial models in honey and wax production. Apiculture has proven to be valuable tool in modern agriculture, especially under the framework of climate smart farming and sustainable development. At GEM, we are proud to support capacity building initiative like this, connecting knowledge with action. With that, we officially end today's seminar. Stay connected and stay innovative. Thank you all.
Yeah, thank you very much. Now it's about to end this session. Inshallah, we will come again at the end of November, as we are planning. Now this is our the fourth seminar on the forum of the Global Entomologist Network. And inshallah, at the end of November, we will come again with a new topic related to the entomological science. I request you have to follow us, or you can join us on the LinkedIn, as we have a group there with the name Global Entomologist Network. We have a YouTube channel to follow, and we will upload our recording of this seminar in the YouTube channel. You can also follow us on our WhatsApp channel, that the link I shared in the